Hello, I'm the Who Guy and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be reviewing this, the 12th Doctor's sonic screwdriver knockoff fake thing.
Things? Hello. What kind of things?
Plated sonic screwdriver from China or Hong Kong or from somewhere. It's a fake sonic screwdriver. Well, I believe it's a fake sonic screwdriver, but it's pretty good, so we're going to get into the review straight away. We're just going to compare it to the original release from Character Options, as well as go through some of the different features this Sonic has, such as different light settings. And if you guys do like these type of videos, make sure to smash that like button for me and subscribe if you are new to the channel down below. And comment down below what you think about this Sonic and if you have one in your collection.
The police box is really a police box.
So taking a closer look at this Sonic, as you can see here, the packaging is just a bit off, which makes me think it is a knockoff. I think it is a knockoff anyway, I think it's been confirmed. Using the Jodie Whittaker logo at the top, which is a bit weird considering this really kind of looks like the colour palette that they were using for the 60th anniversary 14th Doctor Sonic, so it's very akin to that with the kind of regeneration yellow in the background, but also has the kind of Jodie Whittaker Gallifreyan text and side doors of the TARDIS. Again, this is yellow or kind of brown, which just makes me think obviously it's not real. On the bottom though, looking pretty decent. It says 12th Doctor down there, and that includes light and sound effects, and of course it's a sonic screwdriver and it requires these batteries, but are included. It says pull tab to activate. There wasn't a pull tab, so there is no need for that. And on the back you just get these weird backdrop here with these kind of images of battery compartments. Looks off, it really does. It says it's made by Surreal Entertainment, and I believe it's not. But yeah, the actual Sonic itself in packaging, it does look pretty cool. There are indentations in the side of the box for the Sonic claws to fit. I do like at the top though, you do get this hexagonal shape, which you can see the Sonic in, and then when you of course activate it, you can see the Sonic, and on the bottom just a barcode. Says it's made in China.
Made in China?
That might be the first truth of this actual packaging. Taking the Sonic out of the box, and the first impressions are, wow.
Wow.
I've got my light on this, and as you can see, it is just glaring off of my light. It's stunning. It really is stunning. It feels nice to hold as well. I was surprised this wasn't going to feel cheap feeling, but it really doesn't. And as you can see, that kind of chrome plated finishing looking really nice. We'll start from the bottom of this Sonic though. Detail wise, you get the silver nib at the bottom with a nice gold band. This does have a bit of kind of moulding sprue sticking out of it, not too shabby though. You got the blue section as well as this silver section. You've got the silver arches here looking very well painted there, as well as I would have thought these would give way a bit more, but they don't. They are actually quite rigid and strong. You get the gold paneling and the gold band there looking awesome, as well as the emitter switch, which works thankfully. On the back you've got the screw as well as the clamps looking really nice and detailed there with the chrome finish looking really nice. There are bits though that you can kind of see that are off. As you can see there's a quite a hefty gap in between. This side not as bad, but there you can see there's kind of just a tiny gap there. Just makes it feel that little bit cheaper. The emitter, I've got to say though, pretty much looks exactly the same as the Character Options one, as well as those kind of see-through translucent tubing that obviously the light follows through. And just overall, it looks stunning in person. It looks amazing on camera. It looks really cool, kind of shining like that. And I've got to say, I think it does look better than that Character Options one.
You ugly, fat-faced bunch of wet, snivelling traitors.
For features on this Sonic, it has a bunch load, and of course extra ones that the Character Options one didn't have. So firstly, we'll go through the lights and sounds that the Character Options one had, and then we'll go through the added ones that this one has. So you get the standard blue one, which of course looks really bright. much brighter. The second blue setting kind of reminds me of the TARDIS lamp or the console itself. I really do like that setting. It does feel a bit slower than the original release of this Sonic. You of course get the green setting and the second green setting. And once again, really great sound effects and light features. But this Sonic also does have, of course, hidden colours, which are this white that kind of does look a bit blue, especially on camera. But I can assure you that is white, and maybe my favourite setting by far. The red. And did you hear that sound effect? That was really, really cool. So comparing it to the character options release, this is actually my original release version. I've had this for ages. It's a bit worn, so don't mind the scratches. But as you can see, they do look, sculpt-wise, exactly the same. Just the chrome finish on this one gives it a bit more than this Sonic, looking really cool. I think the clamps as well, again, I was a bit scared that these were going to be a bit loose on this, but it does feel really, really solid, and I'm very surprised at that. The emitter switch is what I would say is most different about these two Sonics. This one feels really, really, really good, and the way it just feels so much easier to switch through the colours. When this one, I know character had a lot of problems. Mine's quite loose, and it does sometimes not work. Yeah, I can sometimes get it to work. It's not a battery problem. I've replaced the batteries. It's the slider in here has actually worn away. Can't even get the green setting for you guys. Blue works, green sometimes works. I got it working. And as you can see, that green exactly the same. It does actually look cooler on camera on this one. However, I can say in real life, this one is much, much brighter. Just to note, it does actually go faster on the original release, which I do prefer. This one kind of just looks like a flashing on and off. This one does actually feel like it's pulsating. So I would say the light effects in the kind of patterns much better on the character options version, but the lights and sound effects much better on this release. And you can kind of see the kind of rough edges and the cheapness of this cheap knockoff compared to the original release. But you just can't get away with the look of the two Sonics on a shelf. Which one's going to look better? It's this one. The added features with this Sonic just has to overdo the original release. I'm sorry to say, but I think this is now one of my favourite Sonics in my collection. Do be warned though, this can be harmful to children. There's been a lot of reports that this is a knockoff and that it can be harmful to children. There are loose pieces and it hasn't passed any UK quality control laws, so just be mindful that this wasn't made for a kid. It's got some loose parts that maybe this one doesn't. Hasn't passed any testing, but if you're just going to buy it for yourself and have it on the shelf, I would say go out and get this one compared to the normal release. And they retail for pretty much the same. You can find this one for about £30, £20. And again, on some dodgy websites, you can find this for £20 to £30. Just a side-by-side look to the two Sonics there. Pick which one is your favourite in the comments. So overall, what do I think of this Sonic? I think it's absolutely amazing and awesome. The look of the Sonic is so much superior to that character options Sonic. It just feels nice in the hand as well. For a knockoff, which I believe it's a knockoff, it doesn't feel that cheap. It does feel quite sturdy in hand. I was expecting this to rattle or just kind of crumble in my hands kind of thing, and it doesn't. It's really, really good. The light effects, you've got to admit, are much better than the character options one, as well as the sound is very loud on this Sonic. I wish it was toned down like the original release, so that is maybe one thing I would say needs improving on this, but the lights and sounds and just everything looks cool with this Sonic. Pretty happy with it. There are a couple of bits that are a bit off here and there, but it's going to sit on the shelf really, and that is going to look so much better than the character options one.
Kill the traitors.
So if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe down below for more Who Guide content. Remember, we're doing the 400 subscribers competition. If you want to click up there now, as you can see, you guys will be able to enter that. And that's all for this video. So I've been the Who Guy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
It was like Shakespeare knocking off Othello, Macbeth, and